It's Friday, November the 28th, 2014. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and this is episode number 60 of T.E.N, Transport Evolved News for the week beginning November the 24th, 2014. Despite it being Thanksgiving this week in the US, there's been quite a lot of news this week. So sit down, enjoy your Thanksgiving-induced coma, and let this week's news flow over you like a warm, spiced seasonal drink. When Renault unveiled its range of electric vehicles back in 2011, it also unveiled an as-then unheard of ownership model for electric vehicles, owning the vehicle but leasing the battery pack. Designed to help spread the cost of electric car ownership out by allowing customers to buy the car themselves but lease the battery pack, Renault's battery lease model offered some significant benefits over traditional purchase models, including a lower initial purchase price and ongoing battery warranty. Despite these benefits, however, many customers shied away from Renault's unusual ownership model, expressing a preference to own the vehicle and its batteries outright. Although Renault initially seemed reluctant to offer such an option for its customers, the French automaker has warmed to the idea over recent months and has just announced it will offer customers in the UK the option to purchase the Renault Zoe electric hatchback and Renault Kangoo ZE electric van with batteries included rather than leased. Renault says the new purchase option, which it calls the Zoe I and Kangoo Van ZEI, can be applied to any of the existing trim options available for either vehicle, with the entry-level Zoe I available from £23,443 for incentives and the Kangoo Van ZEI available from £27,393 before incentives and including taxes. So if you love the Renault Zoe or Kangoo but don't love renting your batteries, maybe it's time to give them a second look. Let's face it, if you're the kind of person who likes the wonderful world of future car technology, you're probably something of a geek. And that means you're au fait with other geeky things like the latest gadgets, science fiction and fantasy, and of course, comic books. Well, it turns out the folks at Tesla Motors are just as geeky as we are, and they've just installed 10 brand new high-tech robots, some of the largest in the world, at Tesla's Fremont facility, where Tesla's all-electric luxury cars are made. The robots have been installed as part of a massive upgrade to the facility ahead of the launch of the Tesla Model X crossover SUV, but are also being used to simplify and speed up the production line, lifting cars from one part of the plant to the other without any fuss or bother. The cool bit? Instead of naming the robots by their model number and designation, Tesla has named each one after X-Men characters, and even adorned each robot's case with specially commissioned comic artwork of them in action. So if you're waiting for a Tesla, you can now legitimately say it was going to be built by your favourite X-Men character. That's pretty darned cool. As anyone who watched last week's show or followed our LA Auto Show coverage will know, hydrogen fuel cell cars are the automotive world's favourite form of transport right now, with pretty much every major automaker investigating or building a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. But while automakers like Toyota and Honda are racing to bring hydrogen fuel cell technology to market, fellow Japanese automaker Nissan says it's in no rush to make a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, saying that the costs involved are simply too high and electric cars have a far more viable future than hydrogen cars for now. Speaking last week, Nissan Vice Chairman Toshisuke Siga told the Japan Times that Nissan is in no rush to enter the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle market, saying that the costs associated with hydrogen fuel cell vehicles and hydrogen refueling infrastructure was simply too high for Nissan to switch from batteries to fuel cells. And with Nissan dominating the global plug-in marketplace, Shiga said the company was more than happy with its position in the zero-emission vehicle world. After all, with nearly 150,000 Leafs sold worldwide, it's well ahead of only hydrogen fuel cell sales now, isn't it? Although Toyota and Daimler might have both distanced themselves from Tesla Motors earlier this fall by selling off their substantial shareholdings in the Californian automaker, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has confirmed that German automaker BMW is eager and willing to fill the void. In an interview this week with German news magazine Der Spiegel, Musk said that BMW and Tesla are investigating the possibility of forming an alliance on battery and carbon fiber technology. At the moment, BMW relies on Samsung SDI for the lithium-ion battery packs it uses in i3 and i8 plug-in cars, but an official partnership with Tesla could see it benefit from the upcoming Tesla Gigafactory, which promises to lower battery prices to never-before-seen lows. Conversely, BMW's high-tech carbon fibre construction process for its i3 and i8 cars, which is far less energy intensive and far lighter than traditional methods, could give Tesla a way to build even lighter and longer range cars. While Musk was happy to talk about the partnership though, BMW isn't making any official announcements, so consider this a possibility rather than a foregone conclusion. While Toyota has only just debuted its 2016 Mirai fuel cell sedan to the general public, the Japanese automaker is already hard at work on developing and refining its hydrogen fuel cell technology further, with the aim of bringing its next generation fuel cell car to market in time for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. But while Toyota managed to slash the cost of producing the fuel cell stack in the Mirai by nearly 95% over previous generation cars, its boss of fuel cell sedan, Yasushiro Nobe, admitted this week that reducing the cost further would be a much tougher job. At the moment, the fuel cell stack in the Mirai costs about $50,000 to make, but rather than slash its cost by a further 95% on the next generation model, Nonobe says Toyota is targeting a 2/3 to 3/4 reduction in cost, which would bring the cost of a fuel cell stack down in a 2020 model down to around $12,500. The challenge? Electric cars. Hydrogen fuel cells' biggest competitor are also set to reduce their prices dramatically in the same time frame, so expect the battle between electric and hydrogen cars to go on for many years to come. Just shy of celebrating the 4th anniversary of the launch of its all-electric Nissan Leaf, the Renault-Nissan Alliance says it sold its 200,000th electric car. The two companies, who share a single CEO in the form of Carlos Ghosn, have been at the forefront of the electric car push since the Nissan Leaf was launched in late 2010, and Renault's range of ZE electric cars, the Fluence ZE, Twizy ZE, Kangoo ZE and Zoe ZE, were launched shortly afterwards. These days, Renault and Nissan offer 6 different plug-in models around the world, including the recently launched E.N V200 minivan, and so that combined their electric cars have travelled more than 4 billion kilometres, that's 2.49 billion miles, and saved more than 200 million litres of fuel from being burnt. With strong sales and a larger market than the Renault range of electric vehicles, the Nissan Leaf accounts for most of the plug-in vehicles sold by the Alliance to date, racking up more than 148,700 cars since launch. Well done all. German automaker BMW, parent company to the Mini brand, has long debated the future of an all-electric Mini model after its limited production prototype Mini E proved so popular among customers lucky enough to be part of its Electronaut pre-production electric vehicle test fleet. It even recently debuted a prototype all-electric mono called the Mini Superleggera, a 2-seat coupe designed to be a more evocative car of British sports cars of past than modern-day city cars. But when Mini executives announced earlier this year it was considering cutting back the Mini range from its current 10-car lineup to just 4 or 5, the future of an all-electric Mini seemed a little more than uncertain. This week, however, Mini brand chief Peter Schwarzenbauer confirmed that Mini will be bringing an all-electric model to market soon, as one of the models to survive the paring down of Mini brand into a more compact superhero brand. So if you're someone who's been lusting after an all-electric retro-themed car, you might want to follow Mini pretty closely from now on. The tiny Renault Twizy ZE 2-seat runabout might not be getting the battery purchase options just announced by Renault for its bigger siblings, the Renault Zoe and Renault Kangoo ZE, but its diminutive size means that it can do the kind of things that other electric cars are just too big for. Things like ice racing in the Alps or racing around the world's largest shopping mall, which is exactly what the Lotus F1 team are doing in this fun and cute video for the Twizy. While the Lotus F1 team, who use a Renault-made internal combustion engine in their race cars, hasn't exactly had a great year in Formula 1, scoring just 10 points between them compared to world champion Lewis Hamilton's 384, we're pretty sure Mr. Hamilton didn't just get to drive around an enormous empty mall in Dubai in a talky, tail-happy electric bundle of joy. And frankly, with a Twizy reaching a top speed of 50 miles per hour, we're guessing carrying around the mall felt pretty sweet, regardless of how well the season went. Nice commiseration prize, guys. That's it for the week. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of T.E.N. And in the meantime, visit www.transportevolved.com for all the Evolved transport news that's fit to print. Subscribe to our channel and other shows on YouTube. And don't forget to join us live on Sunday at 6 p.m. GMT for the Transport Evolved panel talk show, where we'll be discussing these stories and more. You can watch live on our website at www.transportevolved.com, or you can join us via our YouTube channel at youtube.com/transportevolved. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Have a great Thanksgiving weekend, and until next time, stay juiced up!